With threats to our nation waiting around every corner, adaptability is more important than ever. When conditions change without notice, quick strategic thinking is crucial. And with obstacles consistently impending, determination is essential in overcoming them. It's this willingness, decisiveness, and resilience that sets Marines apart. With our fighting spirit, we don't just fight battles, we win them. Marines are the constant our nation counts on to fight the unknown. And through adaptable problem solving, we do just that. Learn more at marines.com.
It's only a kick, a jump, a block. It's only a serve. It's only a tackle, a run. It's only for the fans. After all, it's only pressure. You got this. Adidas.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
Welcome to the Wrap Podcast, the place to catch up on all the regional and national rugby in Wales. You can find us on all the usual social media platforms and message us through there if you want, or you can email us on welshregionalrugbypod@gmail.com. So all the boring stuff out the way, let's talk rugby.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Rap Podcast with me, Lee G. Joining me as always, Jamie, Harley, and I'm not going to call him top grifter. It's he's happy with himself from last week. And James, good evening, gentlemen. How are we all?
Hello.
Evening.
All good.
Good evening.
Right. So before we crack on with everything, Harley, do you want to explain what's going on with your technical issues this evening before, while you've actually got a signal?
Yeah. So I had to get up early to drive from Devon to Cardiff. In my sort of stupor, I forgot to make sure my laptop charger was packed, which might as well be from the 1930s, like Lee. And yeah, so that was trying to run through. And after about 40 minutes of trying to get on with that, I had to log on with my phone. In which case, the laptop decided, no, I do want to play, and then that caused a little crash as well.
So we're already having a top evening. Right. While we've got a decent signal with Harley, let's crack on with Drink of the Week. James is shaking his head. Have you not got a Drink of the Week again, James? You've been a good boy,
yeah,
have you?
I have. I've got Sprite. That's my Drink of the Week. I think. Not that I didn't even drink much on the weekend. I've just not drinking. I had a few beers watching the European games on Saturday, but I'm just not drinking now because
yeah. Well,
because he has to pay for it.
Yeah. We'll explain why at the very end. So, or if you have to disappear in a mad dash halfway through. Jamie, what have you got this week, mate?
Right, so Jonathan Davis has been awarded a testimonial year by the Scarlets, and the beer that I've got ties into that. So this is from Harbour Brewery. This is called about Jonathan Fox Davis. So let's read the wanky bollocks. It says, what better name for a red ale than Fox, and our tribute to Wales and Scarlets player Jonathan Davis, nicknamed after his parents' pub, the Fox and Hounds. Brewed blending traditional Maris Otter and crystal malt, which creates a delicious blend of malty sweetness along with caramel and honey. German Cara Red then gives this ale its deep red ruby colour with a small amount of black malt for those roasted flavours you associate with darker ales. No less than 4 different hop varieties have been used in this beer, all contributing to a well-balanced bitterness with a slight spicy note and a very pleasant herbal blackcurrant. Now, there's some wanky bollocks for you right there, isn't it? But that's John Fox's beer. And to be fair, it's very nice. This is a very nice red ale. I like this a lot. Have you had this one, Lee?
Where's it from? Is it Vellenvoyle?
Harbour. No, Harbour Brewery.
The Harbour,
From
yeah,
Tenby.
they did it. It wasn't in my Christmas pack. I've had a fair few from there, but it wasn't in my Christmas pack. So I'll have to go back and get some more. So
yeah, that's my tribute to the Fox.
Okay, good man. Harley, what have we got, mate?
I've got a bottle of Shipyards, so I'm not reading the wanky bollocks on it because it is that wanky.
Yeah, we've had it before. We've had that one before, haven't we?
Yeah, probably. I mean, there are only so many bottles in the co-op.
Yeah, I understand. So I've gone a little bit Jamie this week. I've gone for a bottle, well, a can. I don't like cans as a rule, but Beaverton Sun Gold Tropical IPA.
Choice.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the word tropical in it, which is never. It tastes
Sounds
like
good to me.
squash. Well, the wanky bollocks on this is
Beavertown's very good.
Out of this world, drunk on earth. Job done. So, yes, let's crack on with some news desk. All yours, Jamie. What have you got for us?
Right, okay, let's start at the Ospreys then. News breaking today. 19-year-old Morgan Morse has capped a breakthrough season by signing a new Ospreys contract. He's made 10 appearances for the Ospreys this season, scoring match-winning tries in the New Year's Day victory over Cardiff and against the Lions at Ellis Park. It's really good news there for the Ospreys. And in other breaking news that's emerging just as we speak, so Josh Turnbull has retired from professional rugby with immediate effect, following a career in which he has made 334 top-level appearances. God, that's some shift, mate, isn't it? Fair play. The versatile forward joined the Blue and Blacks from the Scarlets back in 2014 and made his 200th appearance for Cardiff last month. So the 36-year-old will now move into the coaching setup with a position within the club's academy.
Yeah, absolutely huge servant for both Cardiff and Scarlets. I think it's great that we're keeping hold of his IP for coaching. He's been really well known for bringing young talent through. I mean, don't forget he's got 3 Six Nations titles without playing a single minute, which is how good he is. They didn't need to play to win.
I think it's bloody good of him to retire just before we come on air. He's obviously listens and he's gone, I know, I'll do the boys a favour. Here's some stuff for your news desk, game. I guess bloody good of him, that is.
Yeah. So top bloke. Great.
He's a top bloke. Best of luck to him. I think he's going to be a good coach, I think, Turnbull. Because he's got so much experience and he just has that aura about him of being a top coach. You can imagine him, can't you, just being a really good coach. So,
he goes into the academy, but does he go into the rag setup as well?
Not sure.
I don't know. I think it would depend. I think if it's going to go into if Cardiff do make it into the EDC, despite, many, many, many thousands of pounds being spent on Cameo for the Neath campaign, it's, I'd imagine so, because they'll use it as development and part of the academy, and they do work quite closely. So Gruff Reese does a lot with the rags as well.
It just says on the website the 36-year-old will now move into coaching with a position within the club's academy setup. So best of luck to him. Yeah, fantastic career. Fair play to him. Hell of a shift. Right, on to the Dragons then. So after much speculation about his future, Wales back rower Tane Basham has signed a new deal. Tane was, of course, linked with moves to the Scarlets and Saracens, but he's rejected those clubs to stay at Ronnie Parade, which is really good news. And also Angus O'Brien, a player who Dragons have really missed this season, has been missing through injury. He's signed a new deal as well. I'll just quickly say, I think, given the circumstances in Welsh Rugby at the moment and where the Dragons are, I think we've done incredibly well to keep hold of Wainwright, Rio and Tane, because I was convinced one of them was going to leave. So to keep hold of all three is a massive boost for the club. So I'm really pleased about that. But we just wait and see now on the others. Leon Brown is a big one. What's going to happen with him? So, really good news. We managed to keep hold of those 3 key players. And then on to the Scarlets, Sam Lowsey, he signed a new deal after Wilson said he beat off competition to stay at Parker Scarlets. I did have a snigger at that one as well. But he's beat off competition. And in transfer rumours, this is interesting. So Rugby Pass do a transfer sort of rumour column written by Neil Fissler Confidential. And there's 2 bits of new snippets in it that caught my eye on the weekend. So there's reporting that Tonga Lock, Via Fifita, is being marketed to clubs in France and Japan with the Scarlets seemingly willing to offload its estimated 400k a year salary from their wage bill. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but my God, that's a lot, isn't it? That is taking up a huge chunk of the wage bill there. And then they're also saying that Exeter Chiefs are among the clubs waiting for out-of-contract Cardiff and Wales centre Mason Grady to decide where he's going to play next season. Now, he's got 12 international caps, so if he did leave, he would be ineligible for Wales. Says Cardiff are desperate for him to stay in the Welsh capital next season, especially after they have already lost scrum half Thomas Williams to Gloucester. With Bath, they've also been sniffing around him. So Wales, there seems to be speculation again over his future, so I'm not really sure what's going on there, but hopefully they'll be able to keep him and he'll stay in Welsh Rugby. Now, Lee, you wanted to talk about the Scarlet supporters meeting that happened recently?
Yeah, it was where Lousie's re-sign was announced and stuff, and it's just really, if anybody hasn't seen it, if there are any Scarlet supporters that hasn't seen the video of it, to go and watch it. It's on YouTube. We've shared it on various channels and what have you. I mean, the sound quality isn't great, but you can understand what's going on. And do you know what? As fans, we asked for people to come and talk. We said that it was a really clear message to the Scarlets board that they need to communicate more and they need to communicate better. And I know this is something that they do regular now, but they did stand up and they did take the questions. So I just, it's nearly 2 hours long. I think it is.
It's 2 hours, 4 minutes.
Yeah. But the first bit is about finance, and then you just hang everything else on that hanger, because that's, that ties into for feature as well. But the bit about finance actually kind of, not frames everything, but it puts everything into perspective about this is the reality. This is the genuine reality. The bit that I liked was they said we're the only Welsh-owned club, which is true, because everybody else is owned by various parts in various offshore places where they don't pay much tax, etc. So that I thought, actually, I don't give a shit, James. But at least we got something there that we can go, hey, come on. So it's just really, if you're a Scarlets fan, go and watch that, because it's well worth it.
I believe that's it for News Desk. I don't have anything else to talk about, unless any of you guys got anything I may have missed, or
no.
Happy to move on then.
Cool. So there was only one match played last. The positive spin on last weekend was that only one Welsh side lost, which I kind of quite like that as a spin on last weekend. So James, this is your section, my friend. So talk us through last Friday, mate.
Yeah, really good experience. So yes, let's get the grifting comments out of the way. I did grift my way to Gloucester versus Ospreys. I'm very proud.
Grifter.
Top grifter. Yeah, so I did manage to nab some tickets from starting Gloucester Lucy Jamal Ford Robinson, who's a good friend of mine.
That's a name drop right there, isn't it?
Yeah. Incredibly nice man, but no, he managed to secure me some tickets. So I took my best friend for his birthday was that week, and then I had a spare one, so Hugh from Scarlet's Fever and Pirate Rugby Pod came along as well. Catboy. So I travelled up from Southwest London, got to Gloucester, and so the Ospreys, or Lance Bradley in particular, has shares, I believe, in a bar in Gloucester Quays, so had basically booked it out for all Ospreys fans. And they even had a special IPA put on called Twin Town with the Ospreys logo on it. And gave us and you had 10% off if you had a match ticket or an Osprey shirt club.
That's good.
And they had like a street food hot dog vendor outside, and we got chatting with the supporters club were there and various others. So me and Robbie met there until we marched over to King's Own. where we sort of welcomed the players off the bus. Met up with Carwyn from the Cardiff Central pod, who was there on proper journalist business. And we got into Kingsholm then, and sort of this is where it gets a bit mental for me, and it's a bit uncomfortable as people come up and saying hi. And normally it's fine when you're with Robbie because then you just think they're going to see Robbie. But there's people coming up to me and saying, "I really enjoy the pod."
Hang on, are you trying to say you've been recognised and you're trying to be?
Yeah, I
some sort of celebrity status.
People were asking for photos. I'm telling you now.
How many selfies did you do? How many selfies did you have with fans?
I did about two different photos. The best bit though was we were standing here. We just bought some drinks, and we were stood there, and all you could hear then behind was "He's a Turk, he's a Turk, he's a Turk," and they'd recognised Hugh from Scarlet Fever, and
most of the people who watch Scarlet Fever are Ospreys supporters.
He did say that as well, but they were incredibly nice. But no, big shout out to everyone. Sort of came and said hi and complimented the pod and rap and the area. And it was a mental experience. So then we, myself here and my friend, was sat in the Gloucester Friends of Family section, in the Malvern tyre stand or whatever it is. So we were sat right next to the Ospreys squad that were injured. So like Jack Morgan, Dewi Lake, Will Griff, Yeston Hopkins, Liam Edwards, people that, they were right next to us. Gavin Hastings was to my right. I'm dead certain Adrian Varney, supporter of Neath EDC bid, was sat in front of us, and obviously father of Stephen. And it was great. We sort of went down pitch side then at full time. A chat with Jamal, and we sort of met then in the pub afterwards, which I then found out was owned by Mike Teague. And he had a chat with us and a couple of the Gloucester players who it was a really, really, on the actual experience, it was fantastic, and really doesn't help the Anglo-Welsh or British and Irish League debates, if I'm honest. On a 5-day turnaround to get 1,000+ fans up to Gloucester for an 8 o'clock kickoff on a Friday, and there's only 9,000 in the stadium, right? And you couldn't really hear it on TV, right? But it was noisy, and at some points, Hymns and Arias was out singing The Shed. And it was, they said it in post-match interviews. The atmosphere was electric. Or every Gloucester fan I spoke to said that's at top 3 atmospheres in Kingsholm this season, and that was with 9,000 there. So it adds fuel to fire of British Irish League debates. But in terms of the game itself, the game was shit. It was a really poor game. It was awful.
I enjoyed it.
No, it was tense. It was tense. It was knockout rugby, right? It was, it was the one bit of rugby that was played resulted in a try for the Ospreys. That was the one bit of quote unquote rugby that was played resulted in a try. It was a really well worked try. Jack Walsh, who's really coming into his own, and we know the finishing ability. It's still a tricky finish by Giles to sort of get away from. But the Ospreys were poor. Set piece was, creaky. Sam Parry clearly wasn't fit. I love you, Sam, but you clearly weren't fit. There were some bright sparks. Morgan Morse came on, looked good. Owen Watkin was decent. Jack Walsh was decent. Gloucester was just less poor, and we got on the wrong side of the referee. He clearly did not want to deal with Justin Tipperick at all. So look, I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. This game was always going to be a tough one. No matter Gloucester's league form, no matter what, it's still a tough place to go. It was always a step too far, maybe. I was maybe a bit more confident going into it, but I don't think we did ourselves a disservice by any means. The squad looks tired, is another thing I'll say. Even though we've used a lot of players this season, the core of the squad has remained the same pretty much every game. and it's starting to show a bit now. And we travel to South Africa tomorrow, so it's only going to get harder.
You've got a real tough run in as well.
It's Bulls, Stormers, Leinster all away before Dragons at home, and then Cardiff away in the Cardiff City Stadium.
Nasty.
Rainbow Cup.
I was just trying to look, but were you saying you were confident and all of that kind of stuff? I'm sure I saw a message from you saying, I'm shitting myself about tonight. Wasn't that you that said you?
Oh, yeah, no, I was confident. Doesn't mean I'm not shitting myself.
there was... Because obviously
I was honestly, Robbie and I were nervous wrecks.
That's because you were scared his partner going to labour.
Yeah, that was also true. The lager I had in Paddington Station really settled them nerves and whatnot. But look, I did numbers on Twitter. That's the main thing in it. People enjoyed it was really a really great walking through Westminster, because I got out of Victoria Station. Victoria Station. No, Westminster Station. And Gloucester Place is right in front of you. I thought, fuck, this is a sign. And then you keep walking through sort of Westminster, and then you get to St Mary's Hospital, and then it just says Sale Place on it's a street name. So I thought, fuck, I could go through the whole Premiership here. But Saracens one was offshore, so I couldn't find that. But no, it was a really good day, and look, all the Gloucester fans are great. It's what European rugby is all about at the end of the day, and it was quite funny, and I think Jamie, you pointed this out after the game as well, is that as soon as Ospreys lost, it was like the mask had come off and all the fucking knife twisters are out on Twitter again.
There was a lot of Schadenfreude going on from Turks and especially Cardiff supporters.
And I do not blame them, because I would be exactly the same. But I said in a different group chat with some friends that Christ, one off performance, we're back to being the fucking bad guys of rugby again. And it is,
It's because you've got a black kit. The bad guys, I know, but the bad guys always dress in black, so you just got to own your bad guy, like the LA Raiders did, where everyone
Dragons predominantly play in black.
Yeah, that's a good
black and amber now. Thank you.
Yeah,
what I will say, what was a really good, really good thing as well. The two guys sat behind us. Me and my friend played uni rugby with, who was there with Max Llewellyn, which was great. So we caught up with them as well, which was really good.
Though, how did you lose to Carmarthen Quins?
Yeah, to Cinderford.
That Gloucester kit is the Quins kit.
It's an awful
It is,
kit.
isn't it?
Everyone there is hate. There's not many Gloucester fans who like it. I can tell you that for a fact.
Why have they got that? Because it's the Carmarthen
It's a heritage kit. I'm pretty sure it's something they wore back in the 20s or something like that, or a variation of a kit they wore back in the 20s.
Right.
Yeah, but they're known as a cherry and whites now. There's no point.
Yeah.
But I'm talking to the two fuckers who love heritage. Yeah, you lot bang on about it all the time.
When do I talk about it?
You
talk about heritage. Cardiff Blues. We won two European titles in the Cardiff Blues.
You lot burst into tears when there's no hoops in your kit or quarters.
Oh fuck! Right, we're starting to kick off again. Let's move on, shall we? Let's. I mean, I didn't see the game, but I did see a load of stuff on Twitter about the referee and all of that kind of stuff. And but after all the bollocks had calmed down, it did just go back to what a great day it was and what a great day out. And certainly the Ospreys, the Scarlets that I saw on my feed were, let's say, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, were very not complimentary, but they weren't slagging you off. Put it that way. They said it was a good day out.
I will say that I'm a frequenter of the Scarlet Fever forum for a laugh, because whenever my life's miserable, I go on there, and then all of a sudden it's like rainbows and sunshine. Yeah. But even they were like, the ones who were laughing were like, we can't really laugh because of the situation that we're in right now.
Yeah. But then last season, Scarlets made the semi-final, and then we fucked it up.
Yeah, we were shit last season. Actually,
exactly.
No, we did beat the English champions and the French champions, but that's
and then went nowhere. But it swings and roundabouts. At some point, Dragons will have their day as well. I'm absolutely no, I am. I'm
but will I be alive to see it? That's the question. Will he still exist, or will I be alive to see it?
We'll play it at your funeral, Jane. We'll have a nice big screen at your funeral, and we'll play it at your funeral for you, mate. That Dragons.
Funeral sponsored by OVO Energy.
Right, let's move on because we are back in URC action again this week. All four sides. Some of us have got some really, really tough games. Well, let's be honest, we've all got tough games given the situation that we're in. But we kick off on Friday night with Cardiff visiting Ulster. Cardiff in 12th, Ulster in 8th. Harley, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I'm just predicting that we're going to lose by between 1 and 7 because that's just what we do this season. But Faletau is back training, so that might be the difference.
That's good news.
That's why Josh Turnbull's retired. He's gone, okay, there's another old boy back. I can take a back seat. He can have some of the shit for a couple of weeks, and then we'll all retire together. That's what it is, man. So
Faletau is the missing ingredient. We haven't had him all season. This is there's so much pride now just to fuel one world class Felipe Faletau performance to knock Gloucester out of the top 8 to make life easier for the Ospreys. Because let's be fair, if we're going to have one, we need to have one Welsh side getting spanked in the Champions Cup, and it might as well be them.
Well, we'll talk about that after, and we'll do predictions after we've done this bit as well. But so, are you not expecting anything exciting or interesting?
Going back to they also changed their coach staff. I think
not me.
Nope, we've lost him.
But I love the fact. I love the hands. I love the jazz hands.
Oh, that jazz!
I think what he was going to say was, even though Faletau's back, we might lose between 7 and 5 points.
Yeah, we're still going to lose by nearly winning, and we're going to have a really strong first half, and then fuck it up in the second.
We're all going to stand in a circle at the end and post a photo.
Cardiff, we know what we're going to get. There's going to be aggressive breakdown. The defence.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
He's back.
Are you there, Harley? No. All right. He'll come back in and out.
Hey!
He made
much
it.
Like Cardiff, he started strong and then tailed off for
you stole my line.
Right. Okay. Let's move on to Saturday because Dragons travel to Benetton. Jamie, 2:00 on Saturday, live on S4C, isn't it? So
it is.
What do you make of that one, mate?
So I only watched 2 games on the weekend. I watched Gloucester and Ospreys, and then I also watched Benetton Connacht. And they wiped the floor with Connacht, really. They are very, very good, Benetton. They've played 19 games in all competitions this season. They've only lost 5 of them. This is a really, really good Benetton team. And I think now that going to Treviso is one of the hardest away trips now in the league. It's become a very difficult place to go. And I'm amazed by their trajectory. When you consider how bad they were a few years ago, remember that time they lost every single game in the league. And then since then, they've just gone uphill, haven't they? They won the Rainbow Cup. And now they're like a genuine top 8 team in the URC. It's a very, very difficult game for the Dragons. Benetton are in very good form. But we've had a couple of weeks rest. Hopefully we'll have some players back from injury. So I think for this one, I'm kind of hoping we come away with a losing bonus point. I certainly don't expect the Dragons to win. Brexham and Channel were excellent as well in that game against Connacht. They really are an excellent centre partnership. So I don't know who the centre partnership for the Dragons would be. I'm expecting it to be Steph Hughes and Ivan Owen. I think they've got they've got to really perform in this game. They're up against a very good centre partnership. So, it's going to be a very tough game, but hopefully we can come away with something.
It's not when Ospreys went out there this season. We obviously went out with the Shags, the second team, and they put out a very strong team.
That's right.
It's doable. I honestly, I'm not saying you'll win, and I didn't think Ospreys would win either.
No,
but it's doable to give them a game, and they do leak tries very easily. Like even in the game the week after, Dewi Lake scored 4 tries off driving balls, basically. And we know the driving balls are weapon for the Dragon. So I think it's foolish to write them off as it's going to be a 20 plus point win for Benetton, but I do think it has the possibility to be closer than people expect it to be.
We'll have a good team out there. We'll obviously have Wainwright, we'll have Bash, and we have Rio, so we will have
Lydiat, he'll be back, won't he?
Lydiat, yeah, we should be able to put out a good team. I know we've got a lot of injuries at the moment, but I just want us to be competitive, and I like us to come back with something. But I'm just trying to think the last time we actually won in Treviso, and I think it was 2020. Just looking at the year, because I remember Ashton Hewitt scored that try right at the end. So it's been a little while, but I just want us to be competitive. I want us to put in a good show in. We need to be error-free. We need to get off to a good start, because this is a really, really good Benetton team. And, good teams go down to Treviso when they lose. So we've really got to be on it. And if they're going to play Dragonsy, then we're going to get pumped. So it's really important our set piece is solid and we make as fewer errors as possible. But fingers crossed we can come away with something. That's the
bit of advice. Just make sure none of them do a high tackle on Benetton, like with 2 minutes to go. Because I find that means you lose.
Yeah.
Harley's not bitter. I mean, I don't know what your problem is, boys. We put them to bed quite comfortably in the 82nd minute. I don't know what your problem is. When you look at the table, though, James, everything in between. So you've got the Stormers in 5th on 39 points, and then you've got the Lions in 11th on 34 points. So that's one game in between 11th and 5th.
Is there Sharks, Lions, and 11th?
Lions.
Oh, there's the Lions. Okay.
Yeah. So, there's a whole bunch of people that Benetton are right in the middle of that table that, are there for the taking. And as Scarlett showed, if you have a decent day and they don't, then it could easily be your day. I mean, obviously, I'm hoping you don't, because that'll mean you'll leapfrog us. But, it is there. They can be beaten.
Yeah. I think it's the fact they're away from home, though. That's the problem. I think if it was a Ronnie Parade, maybe I'd fancy our chances a little bit more. But don't forget, Dragons haven't won away now for almost a year. Well, for over a year in the URC. And Benetton, like I said, it's a very difficult place to go. If you got Benetton at home, there's always that chance you could beat them, isn't there? The win you're talking about with Scarlets, the 8th minute, that was a Park of Scarlets, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But when you have to go to Treviso, it's very, very tough. But like I said, we'll see what happens. As long as we're not pumped, we give a good account of ourselves. We need to pick up points as well now. Because if we don't want to finish bottom of the league, we are in this dogfight, the bottom 4 with Scarlets and Sharks and Zebra. We need to be picking up points. We need to be doing what Cardiff are doing. If we can't win, pick up bonus points, because they do help. They really do accumulate at the end of the season. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Massively. So, and I should have said that Cardiff is on BBC on Friday. So, on Saturday, then, S4C, 3 o'clock, Ospreys travel to Stormers, 7th against 5th. James, what do you make of that one?
All depends on the ticket. All depends. So we know that Jack Morgan and Dewi Lake are going to travel. So they will feature at some point. I think Booth will rotate the squad, as he hinted at in the post-match press conference. Not necessarily out of dropping people out of form or putting in the Shags. He described it as emotional, so I think it's rewarding. I read it as he started Lewis Lloyd over Sam Parry because Sam Parry couldn't serve for shit last week because he was clearly injured. And things like that. So there will be some rotation. Expect to see like your Morgan Morses starting, maybe like a Tom Florence feature off the bench type thing, things like that. So it's going to be tough. There's no doubt about it. You know, they're 15-point favourites off the start, I think. You know, but the caveat is we've won in South Africa once this year. Our Stormers they see it as a 5-point win, but are they going to see it as something they need to put their full team out for? You know, that's they're the things we've got to consider. I'm just very thankful that we're not playing the Sharks because they would have put a full squad against us. The Bulls, they might well rotate because they've already basically confirmed top 2. So it's going to be tough. I'm going to predict an Ospreys loss later on. I'm not going to shy away from the fact that it's going to be a really good opportunity for these boys to put some feet forward.
Bulls this week or next week?
Bulls next week. Sorry, I got them mixed up.
I said you might be lucky because I think Stormers. I'm saying that The Stormers didn't play last week, did they?
No, Bulls did, but they obviously sent the second, so it's been
yeah. So I was going to say, so Stormers might just put out a fuller team just to because they're one of the teams that need to secure their place because I think they're sort of in that
fifth,
danger zone able to pull ahead. Bulls, if you were playing them this week, they would have been full strength because obviously they sent a B team to Saints. So I'd have pitied.
They've got Munster, so
okay,
and I think they'll probably go strong.
So that just leaves us with Scarlets away in Edinburgh, which is not on television this weekend.
No, it is. It's just on Viaplay.
Yeah, but on the URC website,
Premier Sports. Sorry.
Yeah, on there's a definite issue with all of that because we're not getting any of the video feeds that we were promised. And they keep telling us that the feed is down. So anyway, on the URC website, it doesn't say that it's on Premier Sports or Viaplay or whatever it is this week.
It has to be because it's a breach of contract.
Yes, it will be. I'm just saying it's not on the website yet.
No, it's not. I'm looking at the website now. You're right.
It's just saying blank, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's because they've lost the
rugby broadcast. Ignore the main web pages. Follow Rugby Broadcast on Twitter.
Yes, that's a good shout.
You will get the right info.
So, Edinburgh are right in the middle of that pack. They're one away from the playoff places. They've got everything to play for. We've got pride. We just need to come away with a point of some sort, whether it's tries, whether it's losing points. And in all honesty, I think we just settle for a game where it looks like the boys actually want to play. You know, if they put the effort in, then I don't think we'll have the grief that they've been having. I think we've turned a point with supporters and what have you, and people are willing to actually watch a game without screaming stuff and obscenities and all that kind of malarkey. But I can't see a win. In all honesty, we played Edinburgh around about this time last year, and we gave them a good tanking. I can't see it this year. So,
what about the game of Christmas? You played them at Christmas as well. Remember that?
Yeah, I got memory loss in a significant way.
Convenient.
Short-term memory loss there, wasn't it?
Very selective memory.
No, I mean we did. I think we played them at home this time last year, and we gave them a jolly good scene too. I can't see it happening this year. So, but just need to come away with points and a bit of effort. So yeah,
I would say one thing is that they may rotate a bit because that Edinburgh team has played a lot of rugby and has had a lot of miles. They've just done 2 trips to South Africa with full strength. So you might see a bit of rotation. Like you might, there's no offense to Javan, but you might see Javan starting or Javan, sorry. You know.
Yeah, the problem is we'll rotate as well, and we got no fucking need to. We've just had 2 weeks off. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on to predictions Harley, you're first up. So your prediction for Ulster versus Cardiff.
I'm going to go Ulster by 3.
Ulster by 3. Okay. Benetton Dragons.
Benetton by 8.
Benetton by 8. Lovely jubbly. Edinburgh Scarlets. I've got these the wrong way around, but Edinburgh Scarlets.
Edinburgh by 7.
Edinburgh by 7. And Stormers Ospreys.
Ospreys by 6. No, Stormers by about 17, I think.
Stormers by 17. Oh my. Okay. James,
17, that's 1-7, not 7-0.
Yeah. No. I thought 17 was a bit stiff, but yeah. So, James, your opportunity to riposte to Harley. So, James, your prediction on Ulster versus Cardiff?
Ulster by 6.
Very generous of you. Benetton Dragons?
Benetton by 5.
Edinburgh Scarlets?
Edinburgh by 10.
And Stormers Ospreys?
Stormers by 12.
12. Okie dokie. Jamie, over to you. Your Ulster Cardiff prediction?
I'm going to go Ulster by 7. Another losing bonus point for Cardiff, and they'll do Welsh Rugby proud.
Welsh Rugby winners and losers.
Okie dokie.
Yep.
Benetton Dragons?
This game, it'll go two ways. Either we'll get pumped or it'll be closer than everyone thinks. But I'm going to go for Benetton by 9.
Benetton by 9. Edinburgh Scarlets?
I think Edinburgh will win by 10.
10. And Stormers Ospreys?
I'm going to say Stormers by 15.
Okay. And I did for some reason, I did my predictions like about 3 weeks ago when we did the last pod, when there was like European rugby. So I've gone Cardiff by 5, Benetton by 5, Edinburgh by 5, and Stormers by 5. And I don't know what, but it's there now, so I'm just going to stick with it, and it is what it is. Sometimes you've got to just live with what you do. So really, really quickly, just want to round up we've got 4 rounds. I think it's 5 rounds left after this week. 4 rounds left after this week. Where are we now? And where do we think we will be? So I'm going to start with you, James. Ospreys are in 7th at the minute on 35 points. Okay. You've got Ulster, Edinburgh, Connaught, and Lions all on so Ulster on 35 points, Edinburgh, Connaught, Lions all on 34, Benetton on 37, Stormers on 39, all within reach. Where are you going to finish? 7th at the minute. Where are you going to finish?
We're going to finish 8th. I'm going to be optimistic. We are going to finish 8th. We're going to pick up 2 bonus points somehow in South Africa, somehow. And then we're going to pick up a bonus point in Leinster, and then 2 5-pointers against Dragons and Cardiff.
So you're being optimistic, and you're going to drop 1 place. Okay, fair enough.
It's in the playoffs, though. So we'll go and play the Bulls or Leinster, and then get 50 put on us.
I was going to say you've got Bulls, Stormers, Leinster, and Connaught to go, haven't you? So it's a hefty old run-in. Harley, Cardiff, currently in 12th on 24 points. So below you are the Lions. Sorry, above you are the Lions on 34 points, which is 12 points away. 10 points away, sorry. Catching them, or are you going to get caught? Where are you going to finish? 12th at the minute, where are you going to finish?
I think we're going to struggle because of our running as well. Like we've got Ulster away, Edinburgh at home, and then Sharks and Lions. So Lions one of the teams we're actually directly competing with for those spaces. I see us just basically staying at 12th. I don't see much. I have actually on my spreadsheet looked at what the maximum possible points are for each team, and then then looking at the running. One thing I would say is 8 probably isn't enough for Champions Cup, because I've got a funny feeling Sharks are going to take the Challenge Cup and they will get an automatic spot.
I never said Champions Cup. I said playoffs.
I'm just saying it might not be enough. So I think seventh is
fully
going to be
aware
a
that
target.
Sharks are in the Challenge
I
Cup.
actually think it's a good. I actually think Ospreys can do it.
Fully aware.
Also, we need Dragons to beat Ospreys in their game, so there's something to play for on Judgment Day.
Dragons to beat Ospreys, pal. You should win your games, not rely on other people.
I'm just saying it actually make Judgment Day interesting, because there's bugger all other interest on it.
Oh, I don't know, because when we get to Judgment Day,
ourselves... I mean, it could be a battle of the bottom.
Between
Dragons and Scarlets.
So Harley's going for Cardiff to stay in 12th. So Jamie, Dragons in 15th on 15 points. And then you've got Scarlets on 16, Sharks on 18, Zebra on 15 as well. Yeah, because Zebra below you. Yeah, that's right. Thoughts on your running?
Well, we did this on the Dragon Slayer pod, me and Gavin. We looked at our running and we tried to work out what games are winnable in our running. So you look at Benetton this weekend. Is that a winnable game? For me, no. And then you move on to Connacht on the 27th of April. Is that a winnable game? Yes. Connacht are a good team. But we should have beaten Connacht last year, or the last time they came to Rodney Parade, and we were down to 14 men. So we always give Connacht a good game of Rodney Parade. So that is a winnable game. And then we got the Stormers at home. Is that winnable? No. Ospreys away. Now, we have beaten the Ospreys twice already. We beat them in pre-season, and we beat them in the URC.
Oh, you count the pre-season as well.
Both of those games, absolutely, I am right. You have to with the Dragons. Both of those games were at Rodney Parade. It wasn't in Swansea. And the last time Dragons won in Swansea was when Dave Flanagan was Ospreys fly half. That's how long ago it was. So I'm not counting that as a winnable game. And I'm actually going to that game, and I don't know why, because I'm not going to see a win.
Law of averages is whenever Dragons visit the Swansea.com, they do leak a few points as well.
Yes.
Every time. Like, Dragons could be on a title charge and they'd still somehow leak 4. Dan Evans will score 4 tries again.
But then at Rodney Parade, we normally do well against the Ospreys, don't we?
They look like the 05 All Blacks.
Yeah, so it's very strange. In Swansea, we just cannot cut it. And then we got the Scarlets then, with the Cardiff City stayed in the last game. That could be the deciding game as to who finishes the worst Welsh region. But yeah, I am expecting Dragons to be worst Welsh region. I've predicted us to finish bottom of the league, and I'm okay with that. Because if Dragons finish bottom, so what? There's no relegation. What difference does it make? There's no consequences, is there? There's no relegation. We finished last. Well, there we are then. But I will point out that if we did finish last, this will be the first time ever that the Dragons have ever finished last in a conference or a league since this league has been, whatever formation it's been in. Celtic League, Magnus League, Rabble Direct, Pro 12, Pro 14. We have, as poor as we have been, we have never ever finished bottom of a league or a conference. But we are in danger of it. But we got to start picking up points, even in defeat now, because if we're losing games and we're not picking up points, the Scarlets and Zebra are picking up losing bonus points, and they win a couple of games. That's it. So they really need to back their ideas up now and try and get a couple of wins. But it's going to be tough. It's a tough running.
Do you want Zebra's running to see if it makes you feel any better?
Go on then.
Yeah.
So they're away and away.
Yeah, they won't win that.
And Edinburgh away, and then in between all that, they are hosting the Scarlets. So I don't see that. I think the problem is Zebra will pick up a try bonus point or two.
They could have told no Zebra. It's become a tricky place to go, isn't it?
But I said there's only 2 home games, and one of them is against High Flying Glasgow. So Glasgow want to try and they want to cement that second spot. I think they actually have a shot at first as well.
Yeah. It very much depends.
So that might
on Zebra. If they pick up any points, if we could sort of stay above them. But I am predicting us to finish last. Like I said, I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable. So there's no relegation.
So you're predicting...
It's disappointing, obviously. 16th,
well,
yeah.
You're predicting 16th. Okay.
I am, yeah.
So Scarlets currently sitting 14th on 16 points. The difference between us and you, Jamie, is we play yourselves, Zebra and Sharks, so we play all the teams around us. And I think that just might kind of galvanise a little bit of something. Focus on the Benetton win and the Cardiff wins and that kind of thing, and let's go forward sort of thing. Will we go up? I don't know. I'm kind of hoping Sharks start focusing on Europe and aren't that bothered by URC and the kind of, start playing their seconds. All right, maybe they play the thirds and we might stand half a chance. But it's, I think it comes down again to Judgment Day, and I fucking hate playing Dragons on Judgment Day. We balls it up every single year. I hate it. I would just play Cardiff on Judgment Day. We're doing all right against them. Let's play Cardiff on Judgment Day. I'll be happy. But every time we play you on Judgment Day,
no. I want to play Dragons on Judgment Day. You play the Ospreys.
They'd be fucking riots if we played Scarlets on Judgment Day. If they moved out to Judgment Day game, honestly, they'd have Nigel Walker's head.
I love how you picked the one Cardiff guy on the board, bastard.
Yeah, what's your problem?
Yeah, sorry. They'll have TNT employee Sam Orpton instead. Then there you go.
Do you know what? Yeah, go for it, because he forgot that the club he plays for has actually done something in Europe. He said, no Welsh side has done anything in Europe. It's like, you're in a Champions Cup not long ago. We were in the very first Champions Cup final.
Wasn't he in
recently?
But wasn't he in the team when you won the?
Probably not. He's probably injured.
Yeah, he's probably injured, wasn't he? Yeah.
No, I think Bill Bauer was the season after he retired. Oh no, it was the 2017-18 season. So I think he was out for the year with a neck injury and then ended up retiring.
Right.
Because Ellis Jenkins kept into that one.
Okay. Let him off that one. Anyway, I'm going to go that we pick up a whole load of losing bonus points and we start scoring tries again, which will be enough to move us up one place to 13. I'm going to go ambitious, a 1 point move up the table to 13th. That's crazy stuff. Heady heights. Right. Okay. So rapidly coming to the end of tonight's pod, gents. So just to say, feeder pods this week. So Scarlet's Fever has got an interview with Scott Snedden. Dragon's Lair, you boys have got Spritz and Scrums on. Is that right, James?
Yes, we got the guys from Spritz and Scrums coming on to preview the Benetton Dragons game. We just have a chat about Italian rugby and Benetton season so far, so that'll be a good one.
Cool, fantastic. So we'll talk about you in a minute, James, for very obvious reasons. And then on Cardiff Central, so we haven't said that we've got Dan has joined us on Cardiff Central, and we've got another new Carwin has joined us on the Pod Cymru. So if anybody is blessed with God's tongue, then the Pod Cymru is there for you as well. I just need to find a Dragon supporter confident enough to speak Welsh on the pod, Jamie, and we got ourselves another whole pod in Welsh.
I don't know any Dragon supporter personally that speaks Welsh. I don't. I know someone on Twitter who speaks Welsh, but he said that he's rusty. He's a Dragon supporter who speaks Welsh, but he's rusty. So I don't know. But I don't know anyone.
Might be the way to get him back into it.
Yeah.
But the guys on Pod Cymru are really, really good. I can't understand what they're saying, but I listen to it because they just sound really good, which sounds bizarre, but my Welsh is improving anyway. So anyway, that brings us to Top Grifter, to James. So tell us what's going on with you, mate, and why this is a special week for you.
Yes, this is my last. I announced on Twitter. This is my last Irie and rap for a while. So I go off on maternity leave next Wednesday. I'm taking now. I might go on it this week. If he decides to make an appearance early, but yeah, we are scheduled to have the baby next week. So I just don't need the added stress of another rap on Monday. And obviously won't be able to do it the area on Wednesday. So they obviously rap will continue as normal. I'll still put my 2 pence in the group chat. Trust me, I will. And Irie will continue in the very capable hands of Yeston and Robbie, who, let's be fair, are the talented ones. I am just the grifter and the funny one. So they'll continue. So for at least a couple of weeks while everything gets sorted, and I might poke my head in for 1 or 2 if I got time.
I love the optimism there that in a couple of weeks' time she'll have had the baby and I'll be back to normal.
Well, no, there will be a period I will have to be away from the baby for, but yeah. Don't worry.
Can you remind James what you said to me when you found out I with my daughter being born?
Yeah, I think
it was I don't care what the problem is. I have no sympathy whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely no sympathy at all. You want to have another baby, you carry on. Mine are 21, 19, and 14. So I'm so far past that, it's unreal. So yeah, I got no sympathy at all for.
I don't want sympathy. I want Ospreys playoff placement. That's all I want.
Very emotional, isn't it? I'm welling up by you. I am, because this is James's last episode for a while, and I'm going to miss him terribly. It's really emotional.
Well, clearly, Jamie, it's the only 2 balanced ones here.
Yeah.
Bringing a bit of decorum to this shit show.
You're about as balanced as the Leaning Tower of Pisa, mate. It's
it is coming up to my technically my 1-year anniversary rap very soon.
That went quick, bloody hell!
Because I was my first experience was Judgment Day. Yeah.
God, Judgment Day last year seems like such a long time ago. We tried.
Speaking of grifters. Speaking of grifters, Carwin.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, at least
it's worth going back to that episode just to hear that story, I think.
He still reminds me of it. But yeah, nightmare. Anyway, gentlemen, so James, have a good one, mate. We shall obviously wish you all the best, and we'll stay in touch, and hopefully everything goes okay and you'll be back with us bare minimum start of next season, but hopefully be able to pop in before end of the season.
Oh yeah, I'll be here for the summer games, mate. Don't worry about that.
Summer games? I was going 6 weeks off, mate. 8 weeks. I was going to have 3 months off, mate.
Oh, look, you don't do any work now.
Anyway, all the best, mate. We'll catch up with you again. And you guys enjoy your rugby. I shall catch up with you next week. We'll do the same thing again next week. All the best. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
Leicester.
Thank you for listening to the Rap Podcast. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed recording it. Please do rate us and tell your friends, as it really helps us to grow and get better. We'll be back next week with more of the same, and until then, enjoy your rugby.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.